Hello, it's Mr. Thompson here. I am going to talk you through how to solve two-step equations. Now at GCSE that is grade E, or at Key Stage 3 that is level 5. I'm going to show you two ways of solving the same example here. I will do another video after that that explains some grade E or level 5 work, but at a slightly higher level. But for the time being, let's crack on with the first example. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, so say you are given an equation to solve, and that equation is 4x plus 3 equals 23. Okay, so what this means is that x is an unknown number. 4x means 4 times x. This first bit here, 4x, means 4 times x. So 4 times x, 4 times our unknown number, add 3 will give us the answer of 23. Okay, we're going to find out what that x is. This is why this step is called a two-step equation. Okay, the first thing you need to realise is that 4 times x, when you multiply numbers, it does not matter which way round you multiply them. I could write 4 times x, or I could write x times 4. It's the same as when you multiply, for example, 2 by 3 gives me 6, or 3 times 2 gives me 6. You get the same answer, but it doesn't matter which way round you multiply them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get rid of those for a second. We're going to solve this using a function machine. In order to do that, we need to know what the first step of our two-step equation is, and we need to know what the second step of our two-step equation is. So in this example here, the first thing that I do with my x, number 1, is I multiply by 4. And with that answer, the second thing I then do is add 3. Okay, so we're going to solve this using a function machine. So we're going to start off with our x. Now, as we've already said, the first thing we do to our x, the very first thing we do, is we multiply that by 4. So that's what I'm going to put in my first box. That gives me 4x. The next thing I do, once I've done my 4x, is I added 3. Okay? So let's put my arrow coming out down here. So out of here comes 4x plus 3. And that gives me my answer here of 23. Okay, we want to work back the way, work in reverse, to find out what this x value was. Okay, so let's choose a different colour. What the first thing I'm going to do is going to go back the way, and I'm going to draw a box underneath this original box here of plus 3. In our new box, we're going to do the opposite of plus 3. We're going to write minus 3. And we're going to say what comes out. So 23, take away 3, gives me 20. As long as you line up the boxes, it shouldn't be a problem, and 4x would be equal to 20. We'll come to that in a minute. But just for the minute, we've done 23, take away 3 is 20. That brings us to our next box, which again is underneath this box. We're going to do the opposite of times 4, which is divided by 4. So this 20 here, divided by 4, gives me 5. We can then say that x equals 5. Okay, let's just check our answer. So x equals 5. Let's just check to see if we've got it right by deleting all of that for the time being. So we thought we've worked out that x equals 5. Our original equation was 4x plus 3 equals 23. Okay, so now if our x equals 5, we're going to put x equals 5 in instead of the x. So, use a different colour. 4x means 4 times whatever x is, which in this case is 5. And then we're going to put the add 3 in. So 4 times 5 gives me 20. Add 3 gives me 23. So we've got that one right, so we can give ourselves a big tick. The next method I want to show you, we're going to do without using function machines. And this is going to help lead you on to the higher grade E or level 5 material if you can get the hang of doing it this way. So the second method we're going to do is we're going to start again by writing the 4x plus 3 equals 23. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to eventually have x equals and then something. We're going to fill in that gap. So we need to think, what is stopping us from having all the x's on this x on one side, the x's on one side, and the numbers on the other side of the equation. And we want to undo everything that's been done. So, if you look at this 4x plus 3, the first thing that is stopping us having the x's on our own is this plus 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite of the plus 3, which is minus 3. With equations, whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you have to do to the other side of the equal sign. So I'm also going to take away 3 from that side there. So, on the left hand side of the equation, I have 4x plus 3, and then I'm going to take away that 3. On the right hand side of the equation, I've got 23, my original 23, take away 3. This plus 3 and the minus 3 cancel each other out, so on this side we're just left with 4x. And on this side, 23 take away 3 just leaves me with 20. Okay, this 4x means 4 times x. 4, it's a badly drawn 4. 4 times x. Or, another way of saying that is 4 lots of x. I want to find what one lot of x is, because remember, although we don't write it, this means 1x. So I've got 4 lots of x, and I want to find what one lot of x is. So the way we undo that step, if you like, is we divide by 4, the number in front of the x. We call that our coefficient. Remember, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other. So 4x, this 4x divided by 4 gives me 1x, or just x. We then do 20 divided by 4, gives me 5. And there you can see we finished, x equals 5. And we got the same answer as we did with our previous example. Again, if we wanted to, I could check by putting this x equals 5 back into this equation here to see if we got the answer of 23. I already know that the answer is 23 because we tried it in the last, to test the last method as well. Okay, that's it for this video. In the next video, I'll show you, like I said at the start, how to reach the higher grade E or level 5 stuff, and that involves negative solutions to x. But we won't go into that just yet. So I hope that example, that example and those two methods have helped. And until the next time, bye bye.